Today on the Morning Edition, President Trump has announced officials have a suspect in Charlie Kirk's shooting now in custody. We'll bring you the latest updates. Plus, Anchorage remembers their fallen firefighters on a day in line with sacrifice and heroism from first responders across the nation. We take a look at the ceremony honoring 41 names here in Alaska. And the U.S. Army and Indian Army are coming together to increase cooperative warfighting capabilities while training in interior Alaska. We'll bring you those details as the Morning Edition starts right now. Let's get right to that breaking news this morning. In the hunt for the suspect accused of fatally shooting conservative influencer Charlie Kirk, President Trump says that person is now in custody. He has been identified by 5 law enforcement officials as 22-year-old Tyler Robinson. Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
He's come out on the right.
Hours after the FBI released images of the person suspected of killing conservative influencer Charlie Kirk, this morning in an interview on Fox News, President Trump said a suspect is in custody.
With a high degree of certainty, we have him in custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job.
In this clip, a person seen running across the roof of a building just after the fatal shot, then jumping down.
He left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes.
After leaving Utah Valley University, they say the person crosses the street into some nearby woods. There, investigators say they found a high-powered bolt-action rifle. The FBI also released new, enhanced photos of the suspect, a figure wearing a black T-shirt with an American flag and an eagle on it, dark jeans, a baseball cap, sunglasses, and a backpack.
We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips.
This home security video, obtained by TMZ, appears to show the shooter walking through a nearby neighborhood about a half hour before the shooting. After Kirk's murder, which happened during one of the college campus debates that became a hallmark of his career, President Trump announced he will posthumously award Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Charlie's voice and the courage he put into the hearts of countless people, especially young people, will live on.
Yesterday, Vice President J.D. Vance, a close friend of Kirk's, traveled to Utah with the Second Lady and Kirk's widow to escort his body home to Arizona on board Air Force Two. Jared Hill, CBS News.
And we are waiting on a press conference to start any minute now with officials from Utah and the FBI. We have Adelmi Ruiz in the newsroom right now. She's going to be listening in on that, and she will bring us the latest as soon as that happens. So keep it to Alaska's news source and our website. But for now, turning to weather, Aaron, it's been a bit wet outside.
Yeah, we're talking about one of the wettest stretches we've seen all year long across a good portion of the state, particularly here in South Central with those ongoing rain showers as you wake up this morning. We're seeing those temperatures. They're also on the cool side. As you wake up and step outside, you may notice a chill in the air. 43 degrees is where we're currently sitting at. We've got our winds. They are beginning to shift back around out of the north as that area of low pressure moves eastward through the Gulf of Alaska. Those winds around the backside of that system pulling in some of those cooler conditions. So we are waking up to some cooler weather this morning across South Central, but you can see ongoing rain showers remaining with us. The good news is, as we close out today and welcome in the weekend, we will see the return to some possible sunshine breaks, but definitely some drier conditions as the weekend arrives. But as far as today, another wet one to be expected. We're really going to favor areas of western Prince William Sound, and then as you head from Anchorage into the valley, where we're going to see likely the heaviest rainfall totals taking hold through the remainder of today. Now, if you live out towards western parts of the Kenai, out towards Homer, while you will still see a chance for some rain showers, a lot of that activity has tapered off for you, and you're not going to see as much rain as the rest of the region, maybe just some isolated to scattered showers. But you notice from Anchorage northward into the valley, as well as out towards western parts of Prince William Sound, this looks to be where we're going to see that better chance for some heavier rainfall sticking around throughout the day. So we could see anywhere from about half an inch for inland areas to nearly an inch of rainfall, while coastal regions out towards Whittier and Portage still see that potential for about 1 to 3 inches of rainfall. So that does taper off later this evening into our Saturday, although we could see some early morning rain showers tomorrow before we do dry out into the weekend with some possible sunshine breaks. And while it will be cool today and tomorrow, we are going to see those temperatures warming into next week, likely back near 60 degrees. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast coming up.
For the first time, the sandboat captain who police shot was in court Thursday. Prosecutors say he attempted to escape and threaten an officer with a hatchet as they seized 6 figures worth of drugs. 42-year-old boat captain Duke Ogata appeared in court Thursday as a judge set his bail at $30,000. Court documents say Ogata's boat, Lady Joan, was already on the Coast Guard's radar. They say suspected possible drug possession before it reached Point from Seattle on November 1st. Once docked, officers executed a search warrant. Officers escorted Ogata and another crew member off the ship as they searched. They say Ogata attempted to sneak back onto the boat and escape. Police say when Sandpoint's police chief tried to make contact with him, Ogata pulled out a hatchet. Prosecutors say Ogata then asked the chief, quote, "Do you really want to die over this?" That's when they say the chief shot him. Ogata then was medevaced for treatment. In addition to drug charges, he's also facing an assault charge. A pre-indictment hearing was also scheduled for 1 p.m. on September 18th. Those court documents say the drug's street value significantly increases in a place like Sandpoint because it's relatively isolated, only accessible by air or boat. Well, for 2 weeks, soldiers from India's military have been training with the 11th Airborne Division. As part of that training, artillery units from both countries have gone out to the Yukon training area near Salcha, about an hour out of Fairbanks. That area provides a challenging landscape for artillery operations. Together, soldiers from the U.S. and India have been working to establish the best way of conducting live fire operation in the hills. Officials say the integrated approach has been beneficial to creating a cooperative force.
Members of this unit have actually been stationed in some of the colder regions of India, so they were able to share some of their experiences and how they do things as well. One of the really big things that we look at here is as we're kind of going into that fall, winter time in Alaska in this near Arctic area, it's how do we handle that shift, right? How does that affect the guns? How does that affect the most important piece of equipment out here, which is our soldiers, and how do they interact and really how do they work in those environments?
For the artillery training, about 40 soldiers from the 11th Airborne Division and Indian military were involved. Nearly 1,000 soldiers from both countries as a combined force have been part of the larger exercise known as Udabas 25. Here on the last frontier, people paid their respects to those who lost their lives on 9/11, not only on that fateful day, but elsewhere while in the line of duty. Charlie Fellows was there as their names were read at the Alaska Fallen Firefighters Memorial in downtown Anchorage.
On the corner of 5th and A Street in Anchorage sits the Alaska Fallen Firefighters Memorial, a monument to the risks firefighters take every time they don their gear. On Thursday, firefighters, families, and common citizens were on hand, looking to honor the 41 names adorned on plaques around the memorial, each with its own story of bravery and dedication.
Well, it's nice that people remember, because these guys guys and gals literally gave the ultimate sacrifice, which is kind of a cliche that we use anymore, but they truly did that.
Mark Barker is a big reason why they remember. He first started the Alaska Fallen Firefighters Memorial Committee back in 1992, and the gathering has taken place every year since. The venue is much newer, however, dedicated exactly 15 years ago to the day.
I just love it, knowing that I was involved in it and helped to build the thing and what it means to the firefighters and the fire chiefs around the state, and then the families. The families can come here.
Even if the occasion is a somber one.
Chief Bob Chandler, you will be missed. Rest in peace. We will take it from here, brother.
Red Dog Mine Fire Chief Bob Chandler became the 42nd name on the list of plaques. A sobering reminder of the risks firefighters take every day, something those present at the service understood.
In your local fire departments, in your local emergency responders, talk to those people, spend time with them, and learn the job that they do, because they're there for you. They spend those days and nights working for you.
Charlie Fellows, Alaska's news source.
Ahead on the morning edition, buckle your seatbelts and get ready for a drive. Scenic paths ahead await in Denali National Park, where they're opening a portion of the road for a bit.
Same story, different day when it comes to the rain across South Central. The good news is it does lighten up into the weekend. I'll have more on that. But first, the sunrise coming in at 7:20 in Anchorage, 6:21 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next.
Drivers are now able to head deeper into Denali. Park officials are opening up the road to private vehicles up to the Teklenika rest area at mile 30. The road will stay open, weather permitting, until October 15th. Some campgrounds are shutting down for the season, but part of the Riley Creek campground will remain open on a first-come, first-served basis. Visitors are reminded to be prepared for changing conditions and wildlife on the road. So still a little bit more time to get through there, Aaron, but it really is starting to feel like fall here in Alaska.
Yeah, we're seeing many areas across the state tapping into some of those cooler conditions, which is some of the coolest weather we've seen in quite some time. And we're still holding on to that wet weather pattern across South Central. Yesterday, we did see some dry breaks, but that rain really began to build right back in towards the evening hours, and it's been with us through the overnight. We're also tapping into some of those cooler conditions. Waking up this morning to temperatures sitting in the lower 40s. Now, that's not the coolest mornings we have seen. About 2 weeks ago, we did see some parts of South Central where those temperatures bottomed out right around the mid to upper 30s. But we are beginning to tap into some of those cooler conditions. We've seen 1.10 inches of rainfall between September 9th and September 11th. That is the wettest stretch that we've seen so far this year. Now, this is not taking into account what has fallen through the overnight hours, but we have seen an additional just over 1/10 of an inch of rain here in Anchorage. So beginning to approach 1.30 inches of rainfall accumulation. Nearly ½ an inch out towards Portage. Areas of western, the Kenai, if you live from Kenai, Nikiski, out towards Homer, Soldotna, you may fare a lot drier today with just some spotty to isolated showers. The bulk of the rainfall for our Friday will be across western Prince William Sound along Turnagain Arm, and then as you head north into the valley, this is where we're going to see that greatest stretch of rainfall sticking around for the rest of our Friday. So we still have this area of low pressure with us. It's steadily building eastward as it approaches Prince William Sound. And on the backside of this system, notice we've got clearer skies, a lot calmer weather, and yes, we're talking about some cooler conditions as well. So that is going to be what we see as we close out this week. Still holding on to lingering areas of light snow as you head across the western Arctic slope. Otherwise, though, our next best chance of snow for the state will be through the Denali Borough until early tomorrow morning, where we could see some additional accumulation. But here across South Central, that rain will continue through the remainder of today. It lightens up throughout the day tomorrow. We will see some dry time, ample dry time at that, with some sunshine breaks expected. We'll also see the return to somewhat drier weather for southeast before that widespread rain makes a return as we welcome in next week. For today, though, it is going to be a cooler one, 40s and 50s across South Central. I wouldn't be surprised if some locations struggle to break out of the 40s today. Now, if you live in the Copper River Basin, where we are going to fare a lot drier, we'll see those temperatures in the mid to upper 50s. Across South Central for today, again, that rain stays with us. We'll see early morning showers into our Saturday. Temperatures should rebound back into the mid-50s. And then we see a warming trend carry us back near seasonal values as we see highs starting Sunday through next week, making a run near 60. Still holding on to those overnight lows, which are still fairly cool across the region. One thing we are watching, though, beyond as we head beyond about Wednesday of next week, is the return to some rain showers in the forecast. So we will catch some dry time, some much-needed dry time, considering the wet stretch that we have been under. So we'll see about 4 days of that drier weather before rain returns as we welcome in the middle of next week.
This morning, we're looking back at Alaskan history. This week, Justin Mattson and Joe Allgood chatted about what happened this week in Alaska's history.
Joe, I got a question for you. What do you know about the office of the governor?
Well, I know probably, the basics that everyone knows. It is in Juneau, and it's occupied by Mike Dunleavy, and right now, currently, it's had several other past governors, and
Those are the facts.
That's the basics.
Did you know that in 1906 on September 8th was when it officially moved to Juneau? Can you guess where it moved from?
I did not know that, and I could guess many different places. Anchorage would, 1906, not Anchorage.
1906.
Maybe Fairbanks? I don't know.
It came from Sitka, actually. Kind of interesting, right?
And you can watch our entire We the People series anytime you want on your favorite streaming device. Just add the Alaska's News Source channel to your lineup and enjoy.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's News Source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's News Source app.